Welcome back to Headz SA, the home of real political conversations. If you are new here, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the notifications. Let's dive into today's story. It's one for the books.
What do you call this thing? So to take us for granted, we need to take legal actions. Very serious.
Parliament's Portfolio Committee on Higher Education recently called in the Higher Education Ministry for a serious discussion. At the center of it, all controversy surrounding how SETA board members were appointed, specifically the role of an independent panel that helped with the selections. MPs want clarity on who was involved, what process was followed, and whether there was any political influence. It's all about transparency, but the answers they were looking for didn't come. The Minister of Higher Education, Nkabane, was expected to appear before the committee, but just the day before the scheduled meeting, she sent the word that she wouldn't be attending. Her reason? A gender-based violence program happening on the same day. Now, GBV is a serious issue and deserves attention, but many are questioning the timing. This isn't the first time the minister have been unavailable when Parliament wanted answers. The committee was left hanging once again.
I'm sitting those who did not come to this meeting. It's a clear demonstration for disrespecting the rule of law in its processes. Second thing, Chair, that I wanted to raise. Firstly, I must indicate in this meeting that the minister is not in any position to tell us whether must we postpone the meeting or not. In fact, it must be indicated in this meeting that this portfolio committee will not operate based on the availability of the minister. Thirdly, it must be reaffirmed that this meeting will continue whether the minister is there or not, precisely because of this, not for the first meeting that we had postponed due to the unavailability of the minister.
Chairperson, three things. One, Minister Nkabane, or that which is problematic. You don't need to read hard as to what's going on here. It is very clear to see. My understanding is that TVET colleges are the delegation of DM Manamela, unless things have changed. But if TVET colleges are a delegated function of one of Minister Nkabane's deputy ministers, there's absolutely no reason why the minister must be in the Eastern Cape herself. The same, because right now, two deputy ministers are sitting here who do not have any constitutional authority to appoint SETA board chairpersons, let alone convene a panel to advise them on that appointment. Essentially, we're sitting with two deputy ministers here who are not responsible for nothing, essentially unable to tell us anything that we need, because the person who's going to be able to tell us and who must be able to tell us what's going on is Minister Nkabane. And her being evasive in this process is not only a spit in our faces, because it's a waste of our time, but it's also a spit in the faces of the people of this country who depend on a ministry that's going to function properly, with a minister who understands their role as far as integrity is concerned and as far as conducting the affairs of ministry honestly. She is blatantly and clearly evading accountability here, and we see this. So that must be recorded, that this is something that is not acceptable. And if a minister who, according to the ethical code of conduct of members of the executive, can decide on which day she wants to come and account on which day she wants, then not only must the deputy president deal with him, but it maintains the point of why President Ramaphosa must fire Nobuhle Nkabane. That point must just remain clear there.
Chairperson, Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher, he says the person who clings to falsehoods or refuses to acknowledge error suffers more in the long run than the one who is willing to learn and grow. The blue ticking, the Digi's actions, those are just distractions. Our goal our goal is not to worry about our egos. being blue-ticked or not. Those are minor issues. Ours is to hold the executive accountable.
To make matters worse, there were claims that the Director General told others that the meeting had been cancelled. That move didn't sit well with several members of parliament, who made it clear that this kind of behavior is unacceptable.
Belong. On the DG, I think, Chair, the DG must be called to come and explain why he would send out an email cancelling our meeting, because it's a meeting of parliament. Not even a state president can cancel a meeting of parliament. If the Speaker of Parliament were to call a meeting and the President, Cyril Ramaphosa, must come to the meeting, as powerful as he is, commanding the South African Defence Force and all of that, not even a state president can cancel a meeting of parliament. That's why we've got the separation of powers. That's why we've got the judiciary, the executive, and the legislature. It doesn't happen. So for a mere DG to think that he can cancel a meeting of parliament, I think that he must be called to account, Chair, and we'll give him our comments when he's here. So to take us for granted, we need to take legal actions, very serious. For everybody who, when they look in this committee or any other committees of parliament, people must respect committees of parliament. So we must take strong legal action against that person.
You know, we woke up, all of us here, prepared to come and do the work of the parliament as members of parliament voted by our constituency to come and hold the department accountable. So it's disappointing to be at this stage, Chair. So I think we're at a state where the Department of Higher Education has never ever been first of its kind. So no one has seen this nonsense that is happening today. Two, and then the chief of staff and the advisor to the minister is clear that the minister is pulling the string on whether what they must answer, the blue ticking and all those stuff. So we need to go a legal route of getting our answer on those ones, because it's clear. Remember, they're reporting to the minister. It means it's minister who told them that go there, don't go there, or do whatever you want to do. So we need to go to the legal route. The DG part, it means he's now trying as well to comply to the boss by dictating and disrupting the meeting that is called by the committee. My worry, Chair, is on Rulani, because you can see now within the department there is a bully. Now the staff will start to be bullied and threatened, and their jobs will be at risk because there is someone who's decided to be the boss of everyone. So there is that problem. I don't know how we're gonna continue.
As far as the letter that DGC she sent, the letter that was sent by the Director General, I'm sure that Nkabane would have also received it. But he's here. So I'm struggling unless there's something I don't understand. If a DG sends a letter that goes to the entire department cancelling a meeting, and one of the staffers decides to follow the letter, then maybe Nkabane must now tell us how he is here and how Rulani Ngwenya is not here. And also, I don't take kindly to that letter either, because the people who invited her to this meeting are not her department. She wasn't coming here to account on departmental business, as is usually the agenda item that says the department must come and therefore this is the delegation. She was invited here on the basis of Minister Nkabane saying she sat on the panel. So the people that she was supposed to consult about whether the meeting is taking place or not is yourself and Anele Kabingez, and not Director Sish. So I'm not buying that at all. It doesn't smell right. It smells very fraught. And I think it's something that we must be able to interrogate its absolute truth. The bottom line still remains in conclusion, Chairperson, that if Advocate Terumutau is able to be here, Ndate Mabuza Nkabane is able to be here today, The only person who, if indeed she's sick and she's dying in a hospital bed, unable to come here, would be the minister's chief of staff. But nobody else has an excuse to not come. But even the minister's chief of staff not appearing looks shady, because you can't have your minister, her chief of staff, and her advisor, all three unavailable to come and account for a web of lies that were concocted in that office.
On the DG, I think the DG, and Chair, you will recall on more than one occasion, we told this committee, in the presence of the minister and the DG and various DDGs, etc., that we are not in the 6th Parliament, we're in the 7th Parliament, and we will not leave the same legacy as the previous, and that I actually asked, and another colleague, I think Honourable Khabu, also in some way said, that the previous minister and the DG must be summoned to appear before us for what they left to the 7th Parliament. Now, today I'm saying, first of all, the DG is quite correct. DG has got zero authority to talk on behalf of this committee or intervene in correspondence to staff across the department, speaking on behalf of you, Chair, and this committee. I feel that the DG, who was sat next to the minister in that long Friday, the 30th, I think it was, advising the minister what to say and how to respond to our questions, which was unacceptable. And I think on various occasions they were called to order during that meeting. And Chairperson, he gets appointed by a higher authority. And I think you should write to the higher authority, put a great explanation on why that DG must be fired from this department. He is not contributing. It's a year since the last election in the 7th Parliament. He's not contributing. And may I add, on the instruction to staff not to appear and that meetings were cancelled, I want to emphasize that he should be made very aware that he or anybody else in his department should not intimidate that staffer or official to come and do as the committee summons, because quite correctly, this committee has got the authority to summons anybody to appear. And we don't want to see officials being intimidated. On the minister has not only got a DM on TVET, she also has a DM on GBV, which has been very active. And we just saw it on Wednesday in our committee presentation. So I will never ever downplay GBV or our students for that matter, because we are here for them. But there are 2 DMs here in both what is affected on her apology that could have gone there. She's the one who should have sit here and not the 2 DMs. It's unacceptable. And she has to, Chair, she cannot go publicly like in the media again. She doesn't know about all these things about her and that she might be fired. She knows damn well. And she should be held account by the president who appointed her. And I think we must write to the president about the minister's behavior again. She's avoiding us because she's guilty. There's no other reason. Chairperson, and on the 22nd, surely she knows so much that she doesn't even know we have appropriation.
This situation raises big questions. Was the appointment process fair and transparent? Is there something to hide? And most importantly, what will the president do about this growing concern around the minister's conduct? At the end of the day, public trust is at stake. South Africans deserve leaders who are willing to show up and explain their decisions, especially when there's controversy involved. What do you think about the minister's absence? Is this a bad timing, or do you believe she's avoiding the heat? Let us know in the comments below. And as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Heads Up SA for more breakdowns of what's happening in our politics. That's it from us today. Stay informed, stay sharp, keep your heads up, SA.